Welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, we'd like to discuss the graph, how it's currently performing, and what we could expect during the upcoming hours and days. But before doing so, I would highly appreciate if you could follow me on Twitter at ThoroCrypto. Down below in the description, you will be able to find the link towards my Twitter below social and info. So let's get started. On the graph right now, on the 4-hourly time frame, we are seeing this beautiful falling wedge pattern getting created. I think this is absolutely important for the overall development so far. On the 1-hourly time frame, you can draw this pattern a little bit differently. I personally would say I would place it like this, a pattern that would look similar to this would be my falling wedge on the 1-hourly time frame. So let's discuss this pattern. We have seen multiple touch points on top of this descending support. We have seen as well multiple touch points below this descending resistance, and what I think is quite important to know right now is to take a quick look at the MACD. So if we take a look at the MACD, you can clearly see that we are losing momentum strength right now. We are heading towards a crossover on the 1-hourly time frame. So therefore, I am right now still very convinced that we will see a further increase in price action. And what I would like to discuss right away as well is why we did held strong on top of the 0.91 cent range. So if we take a look at previous data, you can clearly see that we did actually find support on top of this range on the 1-hourly time frame, where we did actually saw previous resistance underneath. We did find support on top of it, and if we look even further back, we did find support on top of it several times, and as well resistance underneath. So therefore, this is actually quite a stronghold what we have been seeing at the 0.91 cents on the graphs. So therefore, I personally think that it is actually very good that we did actually held strong on top of this range. And if we are right now going to see a breakout above this descending resistance, you don't have to forget that if we do see this breakout here, we will be heading towards the $1.06 range, especially because that is as well the beginning of the descending resistance at this pattern. So therefore, a breakout would mean heading all the way towards a retest of the 0.382 Fibonacci, and that is as well a potential move of approximately 12%, something you absolutely do not want to miss out on. Well, what I think is quite important is that if we're going to reach the 0.32, we might get rejected at this point in time, and therefore we could expect a stronghold being found on top of the 0.5 Fibonacci at 0.97 US dollar. So for sure, these are very important things to discuss so far, and I personally think that we will be seeing this 12% move for sure getting created, especially if we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame. We have already experienced a crossover during the past day, and we have seen momentum towards the downside ever since that point in time. Right now, we are clearly losing momentum strength, and if we do see a crossover occur on the 1-hourly time frame, eventually we will be seeing a further increase in price action and as well a decline in strength on the 4-hourly time frame, heading towards a crossover and seeing even more increase. So therefore, I am actually quite bullish right now just by looking at the MACD by itself. Well, this being said, I would like to take a quick look at the EMA ribbon. On the 4-hourly EMA ribbon, what you can clearly see is that we are actually below the EMA ribbon right now. We did see a breakdown below the EMA ribbon, and what I personally think would be quite good is that if we do see a breakout occur, we will be once more breaking out above the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame, and therefore finding support on top of it approximately at 0.5 and being able to continue with the trend towards the upside. So for sure, absolute very important pattern, and at 12% breakout that it could perhaps be on its way. So this being said, I would like to take a quick look as well at the 1-hourly time frame and look at what the EMA ribbon is actually showing us so far. So what I think is important over here is that the EMA ribbon is perfectly aligned with the descending resistance. Therefore, this will be a difficult level to break out above, find support on top, or see a further increase afterwards. But personally, I think we are right now, well, seeing momentum towards the upside getting started, and if we do see a further increase in price action, it will be likely that we are going to see eventually this breakout taking place. So this is something you would like to monitor closely, but for sure, I'm not saying that it is not a possibility that we will actually get rejected at this point in time and go straight back down towards a retest at the 0.618 at 0.89 cents. Personally, I think that is actually more unlikely to occur, but so far, you have to take that into consideration because we haven't seen the breakout occur yet. Well, this being said, I would like to discuss lastly the RSI. On the RSI, what I would like to discuss is actually if we are seeing any type of bullish divergences. well, we are not seeing any type of those, but what I think is important is that we are on the 1 hourly time frame quite far below. Therefore, if we do see a further decline in price action, it will be very likely that we will be going to break down below the dotted line on the lower part, and therefore we could expect a movement towards the upside afterwards, and as well an increase in strength on the RSI. So the RSI does actually look very good, especially if we are not going to see a breakdown, but we are going to see a further increase in price action. We still have plenty of space as well on the RSI before breaking out above the dotted line, and therefore I think it is very likely that we are actually going to see a further increase during the upcoming hours. And as well on the 4 hourly time frame, what I think is important is that we were seeing previously a minor bullish divergence. We were seeing this higher low getting created, and as well this equal or lower low on the RSI. Therefore we did actually find a stronghold on top of the 0.91 cents. And for sure I think this will be actually as well very helpful, because we are right now below the 50 line on the RSI, and as well on the 4 hourly time frame we still have plenty of space to see a further growth towards a breakout on the upper part. As well, something you would like to consider right now is that if we get rejected below this descending resistance, we still have as well plenty of space on the 4 hourly RSI to see a further decline of price action. But for sure we will be creating every time that we go further below, we will be creating that bullish divergence even more. So personally I think it is unlikely that we are going to see a further decline, but for sure you have to take that into consideration as well. So this being said, I would like to recap shortly. What I think is very important is that we will be heading towards a retest of this descending resistance. If we do see a breakout and find support on top of it, we will for sure head towards the 0.382 range at $1.06. And for the people who did like the content so far, I would highly appreciate if you could give me a thumbs up down below, especially because you will be supporting the channel by doing so, and I would highly appreciate it. So thank you very much, and as well, do not forget to monitor this pattern very closely. Bye bye.